Hey everybody, this is a real world review of the Huawei Mate X. So this is not the newest Mate XS, this is the Mate X that came out like 4 months ago. But I want to do a real world review because there are not many of these out on the internet right now. If you search this phone on YouTube, everybody who's tested the phone have been handed the phone by Huawei and given like one afternoon. So that's why the videos are just kind of all done in one afternoon. I actually purchased the device. It was expensive as hell, but I'm a gadget geek and I wanted to do it for work. And I've been using this phone as my daily driver for the past 6 days. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the specs and hardware because by now you already know it's a Kirin 980. You already know the folding display, 8-inch, how it works, all of that. Instead, I'm going to focus on stuff that other reviewers may not have picked up on because they only tested the phone for like 2 hours or 4 hours. These are things that you only realize after you use the phone as your daily driver, day to day. So first of all, the overall size of the phone is not too bad. It's about the same size as the Galaxy Note 10 and very similar to the S20 Ultra. Let me grab it really quick. Okay, so you see overall footprint, they are very, very similar, and even thickness. You would think this is a folding phone, it's really thick, right? But if you put it next to the Galaxy S20 Ultra, the Huawei Mate X, it's a little bit thicker, but not by too much. But now I'm just talking about physical size. Unfortunately, this phone is a little bit heavy. It weighs 270 grams. That's about 0.6 pounds for you Americans out there. So it is a little bit heavy that when you first jump to this phone from another phone for the first day, you're gonna feel it. Like there were a couple of times where I'm just sitting there scrolling on Twitter and I realize my wrist is getting a little bit tired because this phone, it's pretty heavy. But once you get over the weight, once you get over the weight, I think you will after by second day or third day, you can use this like any normal phone. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's so big and bulky. Now this fits into my pockets just fine. Now granted, these are basketball shorts, so they're a little bit baggier. If I'm wearing something a little bit slimmer, like say I have a wedding to go to in 3 months, if I put this into my slim fitted suit pants, it might be a little bit cramped, but should be okay. So another thing that you might not really notice until you've gotten a chance to use the phone for a long time is that the software, for the most part, is pretty smart. Well, some areas are smart, some areas are not. So I really like that you can still activate a one-hand mode by swiping from the corners. But this one-hand mode, you can only trigger it when it's in phone mode. When it's in tablet mode, now, see, there is no one-hand mode. And that makes a lot of sense because when you're unfolding the phone, that means you're already committing to using this phone, this tablet with two hands. It'd be very hard to use the Mate X unfolded with one hand. You can't even reach like past the halfway point of the screen. So Huawei knows this, so it made a one-hand mode that is on when it's in phone mode, but off when it's in tablet mode. Like little things like that, like it's Huawei put some thought into this. But at the same time, some of the apps struggle to go between small and big screen. And it's not what you think. You might be thinking, yeah, because when you go into the square aspect ratio, it chops off the sides. That is true, but for the most part, most apps run fine. The problem I have is actually with Google Chrome. Now, Google Chrome, when you open it on the phone, you get this kind of pretty easy to use, intuitive mobile view. But now if I open up Google Chrome in tablet mode, then you see it goes into this larger tab view, which is useful on a big screen, right? But then when you fold back, it remains in tab view. Now this is a little annoying because tab view is a bit hard to use on a small screen. So I wish that Google Chrome would switch back to the mobile view as soon as I close the phone. But hey, considering the fact that this phone technically doesn't support Google services, so I guess you can't blame Huawei or Google for Google Chrome not basically being optimized for the Mate X. Okay, let's look at the screen again. So the resolution is 2200 by 2480. So that's not quite 2K, but it's a little bit more than 1080p. But out of the box, it actually stays at 1650 by 1860. But I just push it all the way to the max, and it hasn't really affected battery life. The battery on this is 4500 milliamp hour, plus Huawei software does some pretty heavy optimization. So for the most part, I can get all day of battery on this phone. But there is something you must do if you care about getting your notifications in a timely manner. So you have to go to battery optimization. Find the couple of apps that you want to make sure you get notifications for sure. So for me, that would be WeChat, WhatsApp, and Gmail. These are the three most important apps for me in terms of notifications. So I would just go to WeChat and WhatsApp and basically toggle don't allow. So that means I'm telling the phone you're not allowed to optimize the battery on WeChat. So once I do that, WeChat and WhatsApp will be able to run in the background no matter what. Huawei won't try to shut it down, then I'll get notifications. So about this hinge, there is a little bit of a crunch whenever you fold the phone. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me put it closer to the mic. So it sounds scary, but I have tested this model that I purchased. I've tested a loaner unit that Huawei let me borrow, and I also tested the initial pre-production unit in Barcelona a year ago, and they all had the same crunch. So I don't think it's like a design flaw. I think it's just part of the system. And a bunch of other people in England have also tested the Mate XS, and they also said there's a crunch. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, even though it's scary and uncomfortable to hear the crunch. At the same time, that's just part of the design. I am quite connected to the Chinese internet, and I read a lot of reviews on this phone from people who've purchased the phone, and I have not read anyone who said, oh, my screen broke from folding it and folding too much. So overall design of this, I like it a lot, but obviously you already know the problem is the fact that the screen is always exposed. So I gotta admit, throughout my time of using the phone, I have been babying it. So when I put down the Mate X on a table or like a counter, I do put it down a little bit more gently than I do other phones. But at the same time, this design just looks so nice. This camera system too, so this is basically the Huawei P30 Pro's camera system, except it does not have the periscope zoom lens, and it still holds up very well. Just look at some of these samples here. I mean, I'm comparing the Huawei Mate X using a camera system that's over a year old next to the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra and the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. These are brand new phones, and the Huawei Mate X is still holding up pretty well. So a couple more gripes I have with the phone. The fingerprint sensor location is a little bit high if you're holding the phone with your left hand. If you hold it with your right hand, it's fine because that's where your thumb naturally sits. So it's quite easy to unlock if you're right-handed. But me, I like to hold my phone with my left hand, and it's just tough for my index finger to reach all the way around the phone to unlock. So I have to stretch a little bit to unlock. And finally, this phone only has one speaker grill. Right here, that's it. So, on a device this big, I would hope for stereo speakers, like the Galaxy Fold has stereo speakers, but no, you only get single speakers here. But at least it does get pretty loud. The sound is only coming from down here, so you can muffle the speakers. Oh yeah, and to go into split screen mode, so on the Huawei Mate XS, Huawei's new software has this pretty intuitive system where you swipe from the sides to activate this pull over menu to multitask. On the older Mate X, you don't have that. So the split screen, you have to do this weird knuckle tap. So you tap on a knuckle and you swipe. You see, and it doesn't work every time, and also because I'm paranoid about tapping it too hard. But you see, I did it, and it goes into split screen mode. So on the older Mate X, you have to do this. On the newer Mate XS, you have a swipe over menu. But the Mate XS literally just went on sale in China like 2 days ago, and it's already sold out. So you might not be able to find a Mate XS for a while, even though I don't know when it's going on sale in Europe. So if you want to try the Huawei folding phone, you might as well look into a Mate X right now, because with the Mate XS already going on sale or soon to be on sale, then this phone will drop. I mean, I'm pretty sure the retail price will drop below the 2,400 pretty soon, maybe in a few months. Or you buy a second-hand version, you can get it even cheaper. Alright, so that's about it for this review of the Huawei Mate X. I think this is a phone to get if you are a gadget geek, if you're a tech enthusiast, if you have money to spend and you just want to have the latest and best, and you want to flex in front of people. Like, when I'm in a coffee shop and I open this up, I've gotten quite a few people that go, whoa, like, because they're impressed by this. So this is a phone, it's kind of like buying a luxury bag if you're a woman, or like a nice watch, a Rolex watch if you're a dude. It's kind of overpriced. You can get something for half the price and it probably does the exact same thing, but man, this is like a status symbol. This looks cool. So this is the Huawei Mate X. Thanks for watching.